All right, this is a video on laser projectors. This one specifically is a digital projection highlight laser. I think it's generation 1. They have a newer, well, the whole projector is out of service, but they have a newer model where they made some significant changes to the cooling system and the fans and stuff back here, and then the input board and power supply have changed in the newer versions. So this one was a projector that we got on eBay, and when it arrived, I was pleasantly surprised to find that it had a 120 volt cord on it, right? Even though it was the correct cord to plug into the projector, it had a 120 volt plug, standard household outlet on the other end. I can't remember what it's called, NEMA something anyway. But you can see this is a 200 to 220, right? The revised version of this projector has a physical switch to change between power. So when I saw that, I kind of knew right away that whoever was running it on 120 volts, and it doesn't take long for that to push a power supply that's capable of running in that range out of, spec. So it's not producing 12 volts anymore, or it's producing dirty power or fluctuating power or something like that, right? And what you'll get is bad fan RPM. So if I start this thing up and start to interrogate the projector, before it crashes on 120 volts, I'll get wild RPM readings from all the fans and stuff like that. So this is now on 220, and she runs perfectly. She runs nice and cool. It only has 700 hours on it. So with laser phosphor projectors, I'm seeing that a lot of them are coming out with light lock, constant light output. If you do this, you're not going to get your 20,000 hours out of the projector. You might get 6,000 or 8,000 hours, So when LEDs age, they produce less light, but they produce more heat in response to that, right? So when you have light lock and that light level starts to drift, then it's just going to keep ramping the power up and continuing to produce more heat. That, for this particular model of projector, was a death sentence because the cooling system was so poorly done. The fans on generation 1 were on both sides of the radiator. If you know anything about cooling, you can't do that. The arrangement of the cooling blocks, who's getting cooled first and who's the hottest block, that arrangement is bad. I swear to you, it's almost like the person that designed the cooling system had never done liquid cooling or cooling system in general. You could have taken all the cooling with this with heat sinks and fans. You didn't need to liquid cool this. So, liquid cooling's great because it's more stable. Before you open a laser phosphor projector specifically, or any of the large venue stuff, make sure either you're wearing goggles or you know where your scattered light is already, right? So I know where this thing puts out light. So I know I'm safe on this side of it. Don't stand on the back side. These projectors aren't powerful enough to blind you, but they could damage your eye for any prolonged exposure. So let's face it, you don't want to mess with that. Anyway, so if you get a laser phosphor projector, my recommendation: never run it more than 50% light output. If you need more light than what it's capable of at 50%, then I would get a bigger projector. So if you want 10,000 lumens, buy a 20,000 lumen projector and run it at 50%. It'll probably last you 6 or 8 years, all right, unless there was a manufacturing defect. That's that. So if I didn't say this already, bought 3 of these for $1,000. Nothing wrong with them.